Hello, Internet, and welcome back to Antiheroes Anonymous, or welcome for the first time if it's your first time joining us. I'm Ethan, and I'm the Dungeon Master for this 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons show. I will have some announcements and a recap for you, but before we get into any of that, Nick, would you go ahead and kick off some player introductions?
Hi, I'm Nick. I play Embers, the Sun Soul Tabaxi Monk.
Hi, I'm Kay. I play Lady Elwyn Amelos, who is the Elvish Circle of the Land Druid.
Hello, I'm Melissa, and I play Tuppence, who is a pixie bard.
Hi, I'm Zach, and I play Rook, who is a changeling armor artificer.
Hi, I'm Will. I play Hakan, the halfling cleric.
So those announcements I mentioned, we premiere our episodes every Monday on YouTube at 7 p.m. Pacific time. Throughout the show, we use a variety of custom items, as well as a custom pixie lineage for our favorite bard. So if you're watching along, you'll notice those things. The character portraits, which you'll see all over the layout, were drawn by an artist named Krista Porter, who goes by @KristaPorter with 2 R's at the end on Twitter. If you need a refresher on everything that's going on in the campaign, we have a campaign wiki at World Anvil, and we also have a recap video for Season 1, which will get you caught up quick. Other than that, you can check the video description for links and information to everything I just mentioned and more, including some links to Black Lives Matter and Stop Asian Hate resources. And then you can follow us on Twitter at Antiheroes Anon for news and updates about what we're doing and when. And last but not least, we just hope you enjoy the show. Share with your friends, and come back to watch some more. I almost got through it without a hiccup. Anyways, before I can make matters worse, let's go ahead and roll the intro video. And welcome back. Previously on Antiheroes Anonymous, a blizzard has forced the Silver Seekers off the road to Amberhearth and into the shelter of the Broken Axe Tavern, just west of a settlement called Twintowns. Though it provided refuge from the cold, it did not stop a group of bounty hunters on Rook's trail from finding their mark. With the help of Hakan Anvilheart, the halfling cleric who runs the Broken Axe, they kept the bounty hunters from making off with Rook. But before they could catch their breaths, they saw a fire blaze in the valley down the hill and heard the sound of screams in the night. And that is where we are going to pick up today's session. To remind you all of what was going on, these bounty hunters came into the bar and started up a fight in there, but not before announcing what they were there for and kicking up a bar brawl in a flurry of hope to claim a bounty for, for the other patrons to claim the bounty for themselves. Now, thanks to Torin and Hakan, the bar brawl has been pretty much put down, with all of the other patrons of the bar either retreated upstairs to their rooms, having deemed it not enough worth for their trouble, or passed out on the floor with, shattered bar stools laying nearby where Torin has discarded them. The only other major damage to the bar being the broken window that Embers leapt out into the cold in order to escape these bounty hunters thinking they were after her. Outside in the snow, near the front of the tavern, there's one bounty hunter, a Fire Genasi man, who is sprawled unconscious in the snow. And not far away, there is the leader of the bounty hunters, who is laying in the snow dead, but I can't remember what killed him. I think it was Elwyn.
Ice knife.
Ice knife, yes. A shard of ice protruding from his back
Clearly
as
very
he was
memorable.
attempting to run
Very
away.
deadly spell, Ice Knife.
Mhm.
You hush. I've got you.
You did get him.
Not far away from that, Embers is laying unconscious in the snow, sort of between Elwyn and Rook, who have both sort of noticed that she is laying there. So my first question of the session is, which one of you two is it who rushes to pick Embers up and heal her?
I pick her up, but I think Elwyn's also just sprinting over, right?
Yeah. Well, I think that Rook would absolutely get to her first because I was chasing after
Mhm.
what's his face. So I don't think I could get to her within a round.
Oh, can you not get to
But-
her in one turn? I have a potion, so
I also, yeah, because I'm more than 30 feet away from her at that point. But let me check something. I would be able to get within 60 feet of her. So I can send my healing spirit to her space,
Okay.
which should heal her at the start of her turn before she needs
Which,
to make
yeah,
a
Does
save.
Would
How
that
does
work?
that work even?
I'm going to say that would work.
Okay.
Okay, so if
It
we're
happens
sure that
at the very
works,
start of the turn before anything else. So
so
Mhm.
But I'm trying to think, like, when do death saves happen?
Also at the start of the turn, but that's fine. I would say healing spirit
Okay.
goes before.
Okay.
But-
Cool.
So from Embers' perspective,
so I'm
here's
like
what
uncorking
happens.
a potion, and then Elwyn like
you just see basically this flurry of snowflakes manifesting that you recognize, and you can see, even though Elwyn's still like quite a ways away, she's got her hands outstretched, and there's like the little snow bunny manifests on the ground next to Embers and starts kind of sniffing at Embers's wounds.
And those wounds slowly begin to close. Embers, from your perspective, the last thing you remember before everything goes dark is the bounty hunter shouting, "Vertin or Oranglass, I'm bringing you back whether you like it or not." And those words kind of ring in your ears as you see, sort of in slow motion, the dwarven woman beside you struck in the back by a dagger made of ice, which then explodes. And you kind of throw up your hands, but you're not quick enough. And shards of ice from that graze you and pierce you, and you can feel yourself falling into unconsciousness slowly. But instead of darkness, you fall into memory, a memory of your time not too long ago, probably 4 or 5 years before the end of your sentence, back when you were in Greymantle Prison. There was a brief period of time, just about a week, when the guards were cracking down on some gang activity in your cell block. But you had your reputation as a loner, and even among the guards, they knew Embers isn't involved in any of that because she doesn't have any allies in here whatsoever. And so while this activity was happening, you were actually taken to a empty cell block and placed in a cell kind of by yourself, which for some prisoners might have been a punishment, but for you, it was a source of almost peace amongst the craziness, because you had, a few of your books that you could read and basically blissful quiet.
Room to do my exercises.
Mm-hmm. And it was during one of those days, during the week when you were kind of isolated there, when something happened, which basically floods into your memory in this moment before you strike the ground. A pair of guards came into the cell block in between sort of the hours where they would normally let you out or feed you or anything like that. So immediately you thought of it as irregular, and running to the bars, you can see that they were dragging what looked like an unconscious or barely conscious man sort of between them. And they were having a conversation to themselves. And one of them says, "Are you sure it's okay for us to just put him in here? I mean, the warden said to put him somewhere, where no one would see him, until the special cell is ready. No one's supposed to see this guy. And the other one kind of looks around and at the cell block and says, well, I mean, it's true, but I mean, the only other unoccupied cell block is, well, we'd have to walk across the courtyard and it's freezing out there. Like, you really want to, is it worth it to you to walk all the way across the courtyard, dragging this guy through 3 feet of snow, getting frostbite just to, I mean, the only person in here is Embers of White Ash. She doesn't talk to anybody. Who's she going to tell? And they kind of bicker back and forth about this before ultimately deciding to throw him in the cell block next to you. Because, of course, who's Embers of White Ash going to tell? And then they go off talking about getting a coffee in the guard room before reporting back to the warden that they've successfully stashed the prisoner until his special cell is ready. And you're again left alone, but this time slightly less alone, because you can hear from what is a small crack in the wall, just sort of above the floor between your 2 cells, the light coughing and groaning of someone in a great deal of pain. And then you hear the sounds of shuffling as someone pulls themselves upright on the other side of the wall.
I'm trying to think if Embers would get involved in this. Like, I know it's kind of anticlimactic for her not to like say, "Hey, what's up? Are you going on?" But Alec, how are you doing? But like, I don't know if she's like,
No, it's totally fine if she
at
doesn't.
that point yet. But I think she does listen. I don't know if she reaches out, but she's listening to this.
There's a lot of, I mean, that sort of thing goes on and on for a while. Those sort of sounds of someone kind of trying to find a comfortable position when they've clearly, been beaten and bruised and stuff like that. But eventually it sounds to you like this person on the other side of the wall finds a little bit of rest, and several hours go by where you have a little bit more peaceful silence to read. But eventually this person wakes up and the sounds resume again. But this time, after maybe an hour or so of that, the voice of this person calls out to you from the other side of the wall. I saw the cell next to me. It's occupied, right? There's someone in there? Or am I alone?
No, I'm here.
It's been a long time since I heard the voice of, well, someone who wasn't torturing me or trying to get answers out of me or something like that. You don't know how welcome that is.
Well, I'm not here to cause trouble. I'm not here to try and pry anything out of you if that's what you're worried about.
I wouldn't say I was worried about it, but it's just nice. What's your name? What are you in for?
Embers of White Ash. I'm in for stealing.
You must have stolen something pretty valuable or from the wrong person to land in here for stealing.
Wrong person, yes.
Well, I've made enemies of a lot of the wrong people in my life too. And then things go kind of quiet for a while. Unless Embers has something she wants to say.
I think she would also be quiet for a while, and then I guess she's meeting with Maramus at this point, right?
Yeah, because this is like
this
4
is
or
not-
5
yeah, this
years
is not-
before the end of your
Not
sentence.
long, yeah. I think she would just like, out of obligation, if nothing else, say like, it's not too late for people like us to turn our lives around.
If only that were the case. I've made a lot of decisions that led to this moment where I am right now, and well, I wouldn't take back a lot of them, but there are certainly some that I would change. Right now, as I think about it, the worst of it is that I don't know where my son is. I don't know if he's healthy and well. I'd give anything to know that, you know? Groans again as he coughs.
I guess I didn't ask your name.
Oh, excuse me. Terribly rude of me. I will admit I'm a little bit, my mind is muddled still from everything. I'm Basil Oranglass. And that's when you awaken to the feeling of warmth, of healing that comes into you from Elwyn's healing spirit. And you see the man who was just called Vertinor Oranglass standing before you with an uncorked potion bottle.
Embers, you're okay.
Are you okay? Are we okay?
He kind of looks around, sees like the screaming, and don't worry about that. But we're all okay.
Who is that?
Like this, what is it? Cathedral? Is that what it was?
Yeah,
That was like on fire. I don't know.
Embers like shakily gets up.
Yeah, he helps her up.
The ring of fire is still around the cathedral down there, by the way. It hasn't dissipated.
I guess I should roll some healing for you, huh?
Rook,
Are we still in initiative?
No, we're out of initiative, so people can come out or go back in as they please.
I think I told Rook I am in no condition to go and address whatever's happening down there.
Oh, let's not worry about it right now. Why don't we just go back inside?
Are you sure?
Yeah.
It seems bad.
Maybe we'll just go to our rooms that we paid for.
All right.
But we can't
Okay.
do anything else out here in this
No,
blizzard, so
I agree.
let's just get you inside. And if she needs help, he'll
Mhm.
help
I'm
her
gonna
to the door.
I'm gonna stay in spirit.
Yeah, the
Until it-
spirit gets 5 pings.
Okay.
So
I'll
the
stay.
first is 4,
Okay. I'll stay in for
second
3.
is 3,
Mhm.
third is 3.
Okay.
They can just
I
kind of
got-
follow along, right?
Yeah,
Well-
but I'm saying, like, do you want to take it all, or does
That's what I'm asking.
Rook
like,
need
does-
any?
Yeah. Does
Oh
do
no,
you need any
I'm
healing?
perfectly fine.
Oh, then
Okay,
I'll
so-
take more then.
4th is 5,
Nice.
and the 5th is 6.
Good. Pretty good.
I'm down 1 point of health, so you guys did an excellent job protecting me.
And then, yeah, once all the healing is used up, it just dissipates into a flurry of snowflakes and blows away on the wind.
Nice. Are Hakan and Torin still embraced in a powerful handshake?
I think the handshake has ended now.
Has it?
But Torin's kind of looking around. I didn't mean to break your bar stools. Do you have glue or nails? I'll put them back together.
I didn't mean to break your window either.
I can fix this. Don't worry. And
It's all right.
Rook will walk around casting mending on all the broken items. It's a cantrip, so I can just cast it over and over and over again, and everything just one after another gets fixed. The window gets fixed. The
Well,
chairs.
the
and
window
stools. So there's a range.
might be a bit big for mending.
It's your call. I don't know. It says that 1 foot in any dimension. So did we break something?
Window is also still completely frozen over.
Oh,
So
okay.
the window is fine for now, and also I think you'd have to mend like each bit of glass individually. So it would take
Sure.
a long time with mending. I guess it would be possible, but
Okay, I'll just collect the broken glass shards then. Put them in like some fabric, and then I'll get ready to take them, put them on a table or something, and start mending those after I'm done with the stools and things. get this place back together in no time.
I think
Uh,
Khan would go up and once everyone is inside, he would go up and put the open sign to close, put down the shades a little bit.
Are we just gonna leave the dude's body outside?
Oh, we should probably collect them, shouldn't we?
Are we gonna bring the bodies inside? All of them? Or what are we doing with the bodies? What are you guys doing with the bodies? Elwyn's not doing shit with them. She is not.
Yeah.
There is
Um,
one with kind of like a squished head on the floor of the tavern, which is a bit of a mess.
What's the I can't think of the words right now for using the speak with dead. What needs to happen? What's the like if they're too far gone? Is there certain things?
I think they just
The
need
requirements.
like a
Thank
mouth,
you.
and then they can speak.
Mhm. Yep, I can ask 5 questions.
I want to
Ever?
do that.
Or is it
So
like
the one with the squished head is probably a no-go, but there
The-
is the leader,
captain,
Byrant.
yeah.
He's outside in the snow. He still has his head.
is
so.
it 5 questions daily or is it like 5 questions total
Per cast at least.
I
per cast?
think it's,
No,
yeah.
I think she only gets 1 cast a day.
Mhm.
Okay. I would like to do that. And then we
Um,
can
It says the spell fails if the corpse was the target of the spell within the last 10 days. So
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. So there's a cooldown.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So- So you guys are just bringing these dead bodies and
No,
through
no.
the
We haven't
front
brought
door?
anything in yet. We're
Okay.
yeah. We're sort of deliberating what to do with them.
Okay.
But there's one
What is-
unconscious person outside.
What is Hakon's disposition right now?
He's pretty like frazzled, I guess. He's very confused.
I'll go and try and smooth things over with Hakan.
Yeah.
That's a great idea. That will never go wrong.
Uh-huh.
He'll probably go get a stiff drink for himself
Yeah.
and for Torin.
I think Embers would walk up to Hakan while he's pointing. Say, do we still have rooms here?
It depends. What are your plans on? What are your plans now?
We were going to stay here until the blizzard was out. I don't know if that's a good idea for any of us now that we have bounty hunters coming after us. And well, Embers just trails off.
Okay. I think I'll ask like. Well, I need some answers first before you guys can actually stay here, because I don't want to cast you guys outside in this blizzard at all, but I need to know some stuff before we continue on this whole adventure.
Embers just nods very up and down. Right. Ask away.
Sorry?
Ask away.
Oh, who are these bounty hunters? Who's your party? Where
Oh.
he just goes on and on.
Like, these are all very good questions. I don't know the answer to any of these questions.
Great.
Hakon, you hear Bardrin's voice in your head just say, I don't know, this particular member of their group seems a little timid. I don't know, maybe there was one who introduced herself as a lady. Perhaps she would have the answers.
Yeah, Hakan will like turn around as Bardrin is talking to his head, and then turn around again to Embers and be like, "Is there anyone else that I can talk to that may know a little bit more?"
Oh, yes. Ellen is much better to talk to than me.
Great, I'll talk to her.
Okay.
I
Thank
just
you.
wanted to
Thank
say,
you.
before Rook has a chance to go inside, Ellen's going to stop him and just check him for injuries, and her hands are just absolutely trembling. And she's just like, "Are you all right? Are you hurt?"
Are you all right? I'm actually okay.
What do we do? What are we gonna do? Where do we have to leave? Should we leave?
Let's just get inside and talk about it first.
Okay.
He
I don't.
Good.
I think he's dead. I think I killed him, and I
I think
I didn't mean to, but
so. Rook steps out of his armor, kind of packs it up, and then just kind of clasps her hands, and said, "It'll be all right. Let's just talk about it."
I'll follow your lead.
Walk inside.
So yeah, they could go inside and she's visibly shaken.
When they come in, Bardrin says, well, actually, maybe she looks a little bit shaken by what just happened. The pixie seemed talkative.
Maybe we could try her. Yeah. Let's see what she knows.
What's Tuppence up to?
Tuppence is probably flying around and goes to land on Ember's shoulders and probably tells her, "I'm so glad that you're okay. Are you okay?"
Oh yes, Elwyn's spell did wonders for me.
Yes.
I think her spell also hurt me fairly badly, but that's neither here nor there.
That was wild. Things were
don't-
flying
You don't know
everywhere.
the half of it, Tuppence. We had better get to our room because I have a lot of questions for Rook.
Oh, well, yeah. Why is somebody after him? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we need to talk.
Yeah, and Embers is gonna go up to the room.
So Tuppence is left kind of floating there by the bar when Hakan comes over.
So, do you have anything else to tell me? Do you have anything? Do you have any information about what's going on?
Well, this is the first time somebody's come up like that to us. Well, that's not exactly true, but I wasn't there, so I wouldn't know that. I'm trying to be truthful. Did they tell us? So I guess not. Yeah, I'm so sorry about what happened.
It's okay. Things happen. It's all right.
We're not normally this disruptive. I mean, we like to have a good time, but we're not the type of people who go around busting up somebody's perfectly good tavern.
It's understandable. Let's all sit down and I'll bring some like bread or soup or drinks over on the big table and maybe gather up some non-broken chairs so we can all sit down and chat.
Great.
I think
The
Rook has
largest.
mostly mended the chairs
Yeah,
by
I think
now.
they're all fixed
everything.
now.
Great.
Torin is testing them by like sitting heavily on them and making sure they don't break again.
The big
and they seem
powerful
sturdy.
thumbs up
So
when he's good with it.
yep,
Yeah.
the big thumbs up from Torin.
And then we move on.
He's my guy.
I don't know about you guys, but I could use the largest thimbleful of whatever strong stuff he's got.
That sounds excellent.
I'll go get some stuff real quick. I'll be right back. We'll go pour a few ales, maybe some mixed drinks or whatever he's got back there
Okay.
to the table.
Are we
Uh,
at the table downstairs or do we all go up to the room at this point?
We're held downstairs still.
Or downstairs? Okay. 'Cause I think Ember said she was going to go up, but
Oh yeah, because I wanted to talk to Rook, and about things that I didn't think he would want to talk about in public.
Well, we're trying to talk to Hakan first, I think, to make sure
Okay,
we still
well,
have
yeah,
rooms.
so you might
go
head
back-
towards
I'll
the
go back down.
stairs and then nobody follows you.
Yeah,
you see that Rook and Elwyn and everyone are sitting down at the table. It's like, oh, okay.
I was like, oh, we're doing this thing. Okay.
Okay, so we all plop down around a table together, push chairs and tables together to get there. Okay.
Who starts talking?
I mean, I can start talking, I guess, but we don't know who those folks were. Or
They were after you.
we know that they were after me, but we don't know who they were, so none of us really planned on that. And since we dispatched all of them, I wouldn't imagine that there would be more on the way, if that's even coming. We were going to interrogate. Well, I was going to ask Tuppence if we could interrogate one of them to figure out who they are, what they know. And Hakan, you're welcome to be part of that. if you
Uh,
want to.
Why were they after you, Rook?
Mm, good question.
Deception check.
Sure.
And I'm making an insight check.
All right.
Everyone can make an insight check.
I rolled
Who
natural
wants
20.
to?
Natural 20.
Yep.
I was
Torin
gonna
rolled-
stealthily give you guidance too, and you don't fucking need it.
I got 26.
Torin rolled a 2, so
I rolled a 10.
I got a 9.
Yeah.
19.
So I just brush off the question. I'm like, yeah, good question. Let's go find out.
Hey,
well, how do you want to go find out? Because there is one who's unconscious in the snow. You could probably wake that guy up. Or there is a dead one who you could cast Speak with Dead on. As a point, if you leave the one unconscious in the snow, he will be a dead one before too long.
Well, I don't necessarily want them getting back to where they came from either, because that would be bad. But I think we would, depending on what the captain's answer is, if we do Speak with Dead, maybe that would help us determine what to do with the one who's in the cold right now.
Sure. Okay. So
Okay.
you drag in the captain's body.
Yeah, I
And
guess
then-
if Hakan's okay with that.
Before you go, I'll ask, do you think we're still in danger, like right now?
I think the only thing that's possible is that, fire outside with all the screams.
Yeah.
I can take a look outside, but I don't think there's, in this blizzard, I was surprised even these buffoons came.
True.
So I don't know if anything else is going to be able to make their way here.
I'll let you go then.
And Hakan, you are well familiar with the fire around the church and the screams, as that's basically a nightly occurrence for the last week or so.
So yeah, I'll go out there and grab the captain's body. I'll search him while I'm out there, and then I'll bring him in.
Sure. Roll an investigation check.
Sure. That is a dirty 17.
Okay. You find, let's see, about 75 gold pieces on him
Shoot.
in sort of like a single pouch, which leads you to think it might have been a payment for something. And also a rolled up wanted poster
Hmm.
that says, let me see if I can find the wanted poster. I wrote it out somewhere. Notes. There it is. Wanted, Vertinor Oranglass for crimes against the Empire. Anyone with actionable information about his whereabouts will be paid a sum of 500,000 gold pieces upon verification. A reward of 1,000,000 gold pieces is offered for the successful capture of this criminal. However, be warned that he is considered armed and dangerous and should be approached with caution. There's no picture.
Okay. Does he, other than those things, there's no like other papers or instructions?
No, and he's just kind of got like his leather armors and weapons and things like that, and that's about it.
Okay. So I will stash the wanted poster, and then
I'll
I will bring
say
him in.
maybe he also had like a regular healing potion on him that you can
Okay.
grab.
I'll leave that on his person for now as I bring him inside, kind of push the door open, throw him in a short ways so we can get him out easily if we need to, when we need to, and then
Empress
I'll-
is going to take the unconscious one inside as well and bring them by the fire.
okay. And then I will take the gold pouch and the potion, put them on a table, say, Hakan, and kind of push the gold towards him, say, I think you're welcome to as much of this as you think you want from the damages, obviously. And then I like to look at tuppence. So, shall we get started then?
Okay, you want to tell me what you want to know? I can ask 5 questions.
Let's see.
Since they were after you after all.
Yeah. So I want to know. Let me write this out. Does anyone else want to converse for a second while I think about this?
Ellen is going to take her drink and go to a table in the far corner of the tavern, away from
the
these
dead body.
bodies.
Yeah.
Yep. And she's just gonna sit there looking at her drink and yeah.
Malt hops down on the table next to you and just kind of sits there with you.
That's nice.
I'm gonna try and find a blanket for this person who was left out in the snow.
You can see that as you've set this fire genasi next to the fire, their hair was actually like in open flame. And when you set them next to it had basically gone out when they were in the snow. And when you set them next to the fire, it starts to like flicker back to life.
Like
On
the
top of their head.
Charmander tail in Pokemon.
Yeah, pretty
Beep,
much.
beep.
Yep.
I was
Oh,
thinking
no.
I was thinking of like Hades.
Hades.
Yeah,
Oh.
also kind of like Hades, yeah.
Oh man, Hades is great, but yeah, I was thinking Charmander. I got really upset for a second.
Sharp teeth.
Let's see.
I think a con would not touch the gold that Rook handed to him. He would just look at the bag, just kind of waiting for more answers.
Okay. Um. I have
Well,
3 questions ready, so I guess we can start with that.
You might think of more as you go based
Yeah.
on the answers you get. Tuppence, do you begin to play?
Yep. I'll get out my flute and I'll play the Dirge of the Dead.
Yeah, so this
Very
sort of mournful
somber tune.
begins to ring through the tavern, and then this body's head kind of snaps upright with a creaking sound. The jaw kind of hangs down.
Okay, I'm gonna ask this question first. Can I
Uh-huh.
cast Review Memories on this zombie person?
I think it has to be a living person because they have to be willing.
What if one of the questions is, will you be willing for fine? Okay,
It's
all
not
right,
gonna
never
work.
mind. Okay, so the first question we would ask is, who sent you? Is that a good enough question? Just who sent you for or who sent you to collect this bounty?
So your first question is who sent you, and is your second one,
Who
is
sent
that a
you
good
to
enough
collect
question?
This? Yeah. Aha. Yeah, like who sent you to collect this bounty? I guess is the.
The jaw begins to move up and down as this voice comes out of it. Well, I didn't get a name. Another bounty hunter said that if we brought you to him, he'd give us a big cut.
And we can all hear this, right?
Yep.
Okay, and then
Maybe where are you supposed
Yeah.
to meet?
yes, where are you supposed to meet?
In Fymir, north of here.
Shoot. Okay. Great. How did you find me?
He gave us a lead, said you'd be coming along this road.
What was the lead?
Said you'd be coming along
Is
this
that
road.
really what it is? Like, interesting. Okay.
We
thought it
set
would
up
be.
post, watched for you. Saw a wagon looked like yours.
Hmm,
Followed you here.
okay, I see. We have one more question then. Is that right?
I think so, if I've
Okay.
counted right.
Kind of look to Tuppence or anyone else. Like, what else do you guys want to know?
When? Maybe when were you supposed to meet?
I think that's just when they are able to get back there. How about I could ask about him, like ask what his name is and stuff, and maybe we can. Because then
Or are there more bounty hunters?
I'm gonna ask that one if that's okay.
Which one?
What's your name?
They called me Byrant.
Byrant, like that all he says?
That's all he says. Yeah.
Okay, never mind. I was hoping for.
Doesn't give you a last name.
All right. Okay.
And then the jaw kind of goes slack and the head droops again.
Creepy. Creepy.
How do we dispose of this? Except Byron. I get a good look at him though before. I guess I just look around and see if there's an answer, and then I just heave him outside back into the snow.
Mhm.
Okay. Well, that's all we're gonna get out of him. I guess we can always ask this one too, and kind of motion over to the one that's the fire genasi man.
I can only cast it once per long rest.
Well, I mean, this one's still alive though.
Yeah, he's alive. He's just
oh,
unconscious.
he's alive. Okay.
Yep.
He's alive.
Will, you hear in your head the voice of Bardrin, and she says, well, at least for the moment, it doesn't sound like there's any more danger coming this way, and they did fix up the bar again. So, I mean, maybe we let them stay the night, and look, maybe they can even help out with, you know, whatever it is that's going on out there.
Yeah, that was my thoughts. I
You know,
think we can
that
trust
we
these
that we haven't
guys.
been able to go deal with.
Right. Yeah, I think we just stay for the night, rest up, and then we'll pick it back up tomorrow.
I think that sounds like a good idea.
I think we can trust these guys.
At least enough to, you know, try and ask for their help for something.
Right.
And maybe they'll feel a little indebted to us or something. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Yeah, I think Khan would be like, well, if that's it, I mean, if you guys don't have any more information, you guys are welcome to stay the night. And hopefully this blizzard doesn't get any worse. You can try to figure out something else to do tomorrow. Maybe get some more answers. Unless you guys want to interrogate this fire genasi dude.
We probably should. Because unfortunately, given the nature of their work, if he's allowed to get away, there could be, you know, more danger, or he could just come after me in the night. So I don't really want that either. All right. So how is
Slap
he?
him awake or something.
How is he situated right now? Is he like tied up at all, or is he just
No.
laying by the?
Tied up, just propped up in
Oh.
a chair next to the fireplace.
So is Embers right there too, or is she?
Mhm.
Embers, do you mind if I talk with him?
You can talk to him. Let's not take it further than that.
Can
though.
we restrain him?
What's he gonna do?
Kill me? Try
He
to?
can't. The four of us are here, and he's
Okay.
he
All right.
already knows he's no match for us.
So yeah, I'll kind of shake him awake.
Okay.
More gently than I would like to.
He comes to consciousness and he kind of wildly, well, I guess it would be more groggily, looks around. What's going on here?
You lost. Tell us what you know.
Huh? And he kind of looks and sees the body of that was splatted by Apewin on the floor. Oh my God, Kato! And he's instantly intimidated.
Tell us what you know.
What do you want to know? What do you want to know? Look, I'll tell you anything. All of this is not worth it at this point. Any of this.
Are there more of you coming?
What? No, this is all of us. You know, Byron was a pretty good boss. You know, he never failed us up to this point. But look, screw him. I'll turn straight. No more bounty hunting. I swear.
Insight check on this man.
Sure. Yeah.
It's a 14.
Little bit of saying whatever it takes to get out of the situation, but
So,
also pretty terrified. So
so I'll like kind of grab his collar tightly, make him more uncomfortable, and say, "Your life depends on this."
okay, yep, I get it. You're the boss. No worries.
Okay, so
There's-
spill it. What's going on? Who sent you? Where'd you come from? Is it all from, you know?
There was this this other bounty hunter. He was a warforged guy. Real tough looking. He said that he didn't, he was chasing another lead on another bounty, and he didn't want to. He said this one would be really easy. He said, we bring you to him for the tip that he gave us, and he gives us a big cut when he turns you into the wardens. But that's all I know. That's all I know. Byron kept the wanted poster. I didn't even know the name. I just knew Byron pointed and said, "That's the guy." Said, "That's all I know."
Is that all he knows? You want me to roll?
Yeah,
I'll also make an
sure.
insight check.
Roll an insight check.
That's better.
17.
18. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like he's spilling his guts to every question you ask. So,
What's your name?
what did I name the fire genasi? Hold on. Bum, bum,
Sorry,
bum,
I'm
bum.
sorry. This is the meanest question I can
Flameo,
ask
hot
the DM.
man.
Yeah, Flameo Hotman. No, it's in my notes. I just have to find it. Let's see. I'm Fritz. Fritz, nice to meet you. Wish it were under better circumstances.
I bet you do.
Yeah, sure do. Look, I'm really sorry, honestly.
Yeah.
Big misunderstanding.
Just glaring at him.
Fritz,
Daggers.
shut up. There's your boss left behind some money. We can pay for a room until this blizzard dies down.
He looks kind of stunned at that. What? Really?
You're not going to go after us. You know you're not strong enough.
No, that's very true. Yeah. In fact, I was just thinking, you know what? I'll just go out and get on my horse and get going and be gone. But
I think you'd probably die on the road.
does look pretty nasty out there. Kind of looks between you and Rook.
Embers gives Rook a look
Of like,
of like, don't push us.
okay. So yeah, he'll just kind of let him go.
Yeah. He looks then from the two of you to the body of Kato on the floor, and you can tell he's thinking, "Wow, I'm really gonna get off easy with this." And he just kind of reaches for the bag of gold, grabs a few coins out of it, and slides them to Hakan. Slowly.
I won't say anything. I'll just look at him.
So, what's my room number?
First door upstairs on the left.
Well, all right then. And he just kind of starts slowly backing up the stairs away from the group of you.
Keep
Have a good
close eye
night.
on him.
Good night, everybody. He kind of winces as he says that, clearly regretting it, and then he just goes upstairs.
Tuppence would like to fly over to Malt
Mhm.
and visit with him. Ask him, hey, I saw you up there. Are you up to your old tricks? Were you up to your old tricks? Did you hear anything interesting?
Oh, just a thing or two. Maybe I'll tell you about it when we have a bit more alone time. Things are a bit rowdy in here tonight.
You can say that again. Okay. I guess I can be patient. Sort of.
I think Hakan would go up to Rook and be like, so there's a wanted poster? The dude said that you had a wanted poster for you?
Supposedly.
Did you see this wanted poster at all?
No.
Okay, I'm gonna roll in.
You know the check.
Oh, I got a 1. Okay, fair
We're
enough.
just getting off scot-free tonight.
Got a 12.
Bargin rolled a 6, so
Shit. Okay. I tried.
maybe it got blown away in the wind with the blizzard or something like that.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep
You know,
an eye
loose
out for any
paper
wanted.
just went flying.
Yeah, maybe. It's very possible. Wizard's pretty, the blizzard's pretty fierce out there, but I'll keep an eye on for any wanted or rumors or anything.
Well, there is. I mean, you do have a bulletin board that that people occasionally put things up on in the back of
Mhm.
your bar, sort of
Yeah.
by the stairs. But
There's nothing there.
well, I mean, if you want to go look at it, there might be something there.
Oh yeah, I'll definitely go look at it. See if I see anything about Rook.
Let's see. The things that are on there. Let's see. There's a poster that's offering a small reward, basically a couple silvers, for a goose that went missing in Glitter Cairn. Seems like it's been missing for a bit. There's an advertisement on like really it's like torn paper in really chicken scratch writing that says looking for someone to build prototypes, and that's it. Like no more information wanted or listed about like who to contact or whatever. There is a flyer for the Church of Moradin in Rhymestrand that just says, like come to service. It's every week at this time. Looks like it's been posted there for a while. There is a wanted poster there that just says sort of, it's for like information about the whereabouts of any Vogma royalty. But it's kind of vague and it doesn't say anything about Rook. And then finally, there's one poster that says the Argent Athenaeum presents Romcon, Alen'dal's premier romance novel convention. Special guests this year include the world-renowned Raylan Treesnarl and Gloriana Hartwood. Events start on the 1st of Sun at the Argent Athenaeum in Fymir and last until the 5th.
God.
Yeah, who knows who posted that, but it's there on the board.
Oh shit.
On just sighs and like, why did I install this stupid bulletin board? This is so worthless. All right, so I don't find anything about.
Nothing about a Rook, no.
Okay, gotcha. Okay. All right.
Tavern goes kind of silent
Yeah.
as the wind howls outside.
What time
Well,
is it getting to be now?
It's pretty late. I mean, it was night when you came in. It was around dinner time. Some of the patrons who were knocked out in the bar brawl have like woken up and crawled up the stairs to their rooms. So the tavern is empty now.
I think we should also go to our room.
I think so
Yeah.
too.
I'm
I'll
tired.
lock the doors and lock the windows and whatever else for security.
Not that window.
Not the broken window. I'll try.
It's-
But
It's good until the ice melts, and in this blizzard.
yeah, that's true.
All right. Well, I'll grab the pouch of gold and the healing potion, I guess, and
The guy paid Akon 4 gold for the room. That's what he grabbed out of the pouch.
Okay.
So there's
fine.
71 gold in there.
Okay.
So the Silver Seekers go up to their rooms. And Hakan, you're kind of left in the empty bar, now mostly repaired. The fire dwindling. And then Bardrin just says in your head, well, that was a really strange night.
Yeah, I agree. Doesn't happen very often.
No, but it was kind of exciting, wasn't it?
Yeah, I kind of miss it. All this adventure and excitement. It's been a long time.
not much happens when you can't really leave the bar, huh?
True. Yeah.
Well, perhaps, we can broach the subject with them in the morning and figure out a way to, get them to check out what's happening in the towns. I'm just looking at our supplies, and without wood from Glimmercairn and game also from the Glimmerwood, or fish and fresh water from Rhymestrand, I don't know how long we can keep the bar running. And I mean, since we can't leave, that's a problem for us too. So
Yeah. We might have to go if things go south. Obviously,
do you think
things
we
are
could?
going south. I don't know. It's been too long since we actually even tried.
Well, I guess we can see what tomorrow brings, and maybe we try and step out the door into the daylight.
Yeah.
And you can
Okay,
feel like a shiver
yeah.
run through her. Oh, just thinking about it, it's terrifying.
I don't like this. Yeah. Hakan starts like getting like a bead of sweat. He's like, oh, I don't like this. But
We'll just see what tomorrow brings. We don't have to think about it for now.
Yeah,
we can just put that out of our minds.
Sure.
Yeah.
Hakan will like tidy up a little bit, maybe like get some of the blood off the ground or whatever.
Yeah, you can clean up the one squished body that's still there for sure.
Yeah. Then he'll probably go in for the night.
At one point in the night, while you're cleaning up the squished body, you hear a creak of the stairs, and Fritz comes down, and he kind of like sees you around the corner, and he goes, "Hey, would it be too much trouble? Could I just get a glass of milk or something? I'm just really hungry, and I think a glass of milk would." Never mind. That's weird. And he just goes back upstairs.
Yeah. Hakan will just give him a really weird, stern look. He's like, what the heck?
Bounty hunters
okay.
these days.
Help, I love him.
Oh my god.
That's great. Yeah, and Hakan will probably turn in for the night.
Okay. And then that's the group of you safely in your room. The four of you.
So yeah, shut the door behind everyone, and kind of like wringing his wrist. He's like, I guess I
walk over and I just take your hand, give you a look,
just kind of
nod.
Yeah, I think it's about time, isn't it? Should probably owe you an explanation, don't I? You guys risked your life for me, so it's the least I can do here. I was hoping never mind. Okay, so he produces the wanted poster that he took from Byron's body and just kind of hands it to, well, he just kind of shows everybody, and whoever wants to hold it can hold it and kind of read through it. And
Who wrote this? Do we know who wrote this? Who wants you?
There would be, it wouldn't say directly on it, who wrote it or authored the poster or whatever, but the seal of the Empire would be on that as well. So you can gather that it is the government of the Empire itself.
Yeah, there'd have to be something on it at least to like say turn it into whatever or turn him into whoever.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think it said anyone with actionable information about the whereabouts. I guess it would have to say submitted to the warden, the Imperial Wardens or something like that.
is this wanted poster one that's like mass produced, or is it one that's like is it the same one that I've seen before all over the place?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's just the same thing for me. And it has information about, it's like basically, is it just me that's on the poster?
Yeah, this one's just you. You've seen some.
Okay.
By the way, all of you would have walked by that bulletin board on the way up that Hakan went over and looked at. So you would have seen the same set of posters there as well, by the way. So yeah, you've seen posters like this one that are specifically about you, and then you've seen ones like the one that's on the board here that is like more vague and says any information about missing Vogma royalty.
Okay. Yeah. So Man, I had this other idea. Huh, I wonder if I should do that. Okay, no, probably not. So Rook will like let go of Owen's hand, and then he will, I guess, change shape, and he will turn into a young boy, who's about, well, I think technically he's like 12 years old, and he's like a brown-haired half-elf boy that has blue eyes and kind of slicked over hair, and he has his clothes are kind of baggy now, but he's like, they're looking for me, Vertinor Oranglass of Vogma.
Is that the real you?
Oh,
Well, this was what I looked like before I fled my home.
Oh.
mm,
1,000,000 gold is a large bounty.
It is, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And then with that, he'll change back to Rook, so his clothes fit again. And-
Embers, you can roll a history check if you want,
Okay.
because you did a lot of reading in prison.
Also, I've lived here a while. Let's see. What's my history? It's a 13.
So it's not something you would have picked up in your travels around the Empire before you went to prison, probably, because it was its own separate country then. And I think back then, why would you have concerned yourself with it? But you would have seen stuff in history books about the feud between the Empire and Vogma. All of it, skewed to villainize Vogma because they were all written from the Empire's point of view. And the ruling family of Vogma for at least a couple generations back has had the name Oranglass. So that at least, would trigger sort of memories for you.
So what happened to get you such a big bounty?
Well, I was the prince. And after the Empire won the war, they of course needed to bring in everyone as as they do, and I escaped. And they don't want that blemish on their record, or I'm not really sure, but apparently it's awarded me a bounty of a sizable sum.
my goodness. You must have been terrified all this time.
Yeah, it's been pretty terrible for the past few years.
Yeah, I was just going to ask, how long have you been on the run?
5 years.
You're pretty cute, by the way.
Thank you.
I guess you could probably be as cute or as not cute as you want, huh?
Is that what we're going to talk about now? Well, I guess what I need to at least say now is I need to know if you guys are still okay being with me or not, because obviously dangers like this are not going to be the only ones that happen. You can imagine.
I feel like in some weird way, we're more of a danger to you than you are to us. I mean, you yourself traveling could look like anything you want. Evade, use whatever name you want, take new identities, put all this behind you whenever it became a problem. But as long as you're with us, we can't do that. We
I know.
might be a liability to you.
Oh, that's why Rook has to leave us.
Right. That's why this
That's the
disguise
Mhm.
needs to end. And that's
And then
what I've been
we'll
doing.
recruit a new member.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And if anyone asks, Rook parted ways with us in Twintowns. Went his own way.
That makes sense. We could say, well, you or Tuppence could say, I'm not such a great liar, that we decided he was too much of a problem to stay with us.
I want to roll insight on Embers and Tuppence, and
Okay.
I'm sure it's nothing, but well, I didn't roll very well, so I probably don't know. But I got a 9. I kind of wanted just to know, like,
You're aware that my deception is -2, right?
okay, can you?
I rolled a 3. It's a 1.
Okay, I wanted to know. I mean, maybe you can just tell me whatever you want, but I'm mainly looking for like, are you really standing with me or not, type of thing. Like, are you? What's? Can I see reservations? Are you like, trying to guide this conversation?
Yeah.
Because you can tell
Uh,
that he still really wants to like be friends with everybody. Like he's torn
Yeah.
right now.
The thing you get, because I think Ember's is just terrible at hiding her feelings. The thing you get is that Ember's feelings about what has changed Ember's feelings about tonight is not that she learned that you're Prince Vertnor or in Glass of Wagner. It's that you just like killed 3 people while she was unconscious and like kind of just threatened the life of somebody else who was basically doing the job that we do for a different employer. Like that has shaken her more than the rest of it. Like, but as far as the rest of it, she's still with you.
Okay. And
Why
then
does this seem like a familiar predicament? You know, one party member kills someone and then the other party member is a little bit weird about it. It's just familiar to me.
I don't know where that might have been.
Sorry.
what's Tuppence's reaction to this?
I think Teppy would be really sympathetic with your plight because she's kind of on the run now too. Technically, not sure if she's being hunted and she's looking too. So I think she'd be really sympathetic
Okay.
and say, "But I'm gonna miss Rook."
Yeah, and if we're talking about like, do I side with the wardens or do I side with you? Like, obviously, I'm siding with you.
Right. Yeah, so I think you see like kind of relief sort of washing over him a little by little as the conversation goes on. Go ahead, Ethan.
I have a question. Is Torin here?
No.
I was going to ask that too. Torin and Malt.
Okay.
Are they off in their own room?
Torin would have stayed downstairs to help clean up the body for a bit,
Hmm.
I guess.
Yeah, okay.
yeah.
Yeah, and then I guess that kind of begs the next part of the conversation and kind of like, well, what about like, I'm glad that you're with me. What do we do with the others though? I mean, do you think they're going to be receptive to this? Torin's cast away his, his rank, but
He's
his
still very much pro Empire.
right,
Yeah, Torin's still Torin.
right.
I don't think he needs to know unless he starts asking questions.
That's kind of what I was thinking too. But I
I
mean,
don't think he's.
Good thing he wasn't outside like we were to hear that Bertrand shout out Prince Vert. I mean, I heard him say your name. Bert.
he did say Prince O inside, which was kind of maybe a giveaway, but
Well, Torin was a little busy at the time,
well, I mean that was before we all got in a tussle,
But-
so
but Malt was
Yeah.
up listening.
yeah, I
I'd
feel
be
like
a little bit more concerned about Malt.
we kind of have to talk to them about this because of the information that was shared, and Malt's pretty smart.
Gonna
Tuppence,
come
do you
out
wanna-
eventually.
Yeah, Tuppence, do you want to talk to him about it, or do you want me to?
If you trust me with telling him, I will impart the information.
I mean, maybe you and I can do it together. I guess he obviously is taken to you, and maybe he'll feel comfortable if we all talk together.
He's kind of gruff on the outside, but he's really an old softy. It'll be okay,
Yeah.
I think. I have a good feeling about this.
Okay. It's just, given my predicament, obviously if anybody were to disagree or not want me to be here or whatever the circumstance, I need to go.
Yeah.
Right? So, and if that's Torin or Malt or whoever, then I can't take any chances.
And if he
Yeah.
walks away, I walk away with him.
Where are your mother and father? Do you have any siblings?
Kind of just quiets for a little bit.
Let's
But-
let's table that discussion for down the road.
That-
It's been a big night, and I
I-
think we should all turn in.
Were you gonna say something, Embers?
I don't know if this is the place for it exactly, but it's gonna sound hard to believe, sort of, but I think I met your dad once.
What? That's not possible.
This was, I guess, with the timeline. You said they lost the war about 5 years ago.
That's right.
Would have been a little bit after that. He was in a cell next to mine at Mount Varengar.
Ellen just looks at Rook immediately.
No, he couldn't be.
Said his name was Oranglass, and he talked about how he'd like to see his son again.
Where was this?
Prison.
Did you see him?
No,
Do you know what
it's
happened to him?
dark. There was
Can I
wall between
Embers.
us.
that spell that I cast to look at memories? Do you mind if I cast that on you?
Go. No,
I
of
don't. I
course
can't. I can't
mind.
do it right now.
Uh-huh.
Because I've already, used up everything I could in that last bit. But maybe
Yeah.
tomorrow.
Embers is lying. She minds a lot, but she's saying I don't mind.
Why does she mind? Is she just like worried about
I
it?
don't really want people to see my memories.
Okay. If it's
Embers-
actually okay with
Embers-
you.
Mhm.
What were you gonna say?
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I don't want to. I really want to know if it was my father or not. But if those are your memories, and that's true. So
Yeah. No. We'll talk about it tomorrow.
okay.
I don't know. I thought maybe it would be a little bit of good news on a pretty bad day for everybody.
That is very surprising and potentially good news. I appreciate you sharing. Well, there's still a little bit left in the alchemy jug. Jiggle, jiggle,
Mm.
jiggle. Slosh, slosh. But yeah, I don't know. I'm glad that you're all with me, or that we're all still together.
Debbie flies over to Embers, whispers in her ear, awkward.
Are we all in this room? Do we not have other rooms? that I
We
could go
got
to?
3 rooms. We got 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to my room.
Okay.
Can I come with?
Sure. Why did we get 3 rooms? Embers whispers to Ellen.
And then Torin and Malton the other.
right.
So
Yeah. Torn and Malton 1, and 2 for the 4 of us.
okay. Unless there's anything else anyone wants to talk about tonight, eventually everyone finds their rest, and the morning comes, and you can still hear the wind howling outside. And when you look out the window, you can still see flurries of snow. But the oppressive darkness has been replaced with a kind of brighter, snowy day, with the little bit of light that is coming through the clouds above, reflecting off the snow. Yeah, and you can actually, for the first time, get a good glimpse of the 2 towns that make up Twintowns as you look out the window. You can see that the houses of Glimmercairn up to the west side of the town by the woods tend to be smaller and made of like wood and have a little bit more of a natural look to them. And then the houses of Rhymestrand down by the lake on the east side of town seem to be like these slightly larger structures made of stone for the most part. Yeah, but you can't really see too many details of like what's going on in each town with the blizzard. So, and then of course you can see in the center of the valley, there's this cathedral of sorts surrounded by graves sticking out of the snow. And you can see kind of a singed ring around the church where the snow hasn't quite filled in, but the fire seems to be out. Yeah.
So we
The
can
group
mark
of
a
you-
long rest.
Yeah, you can all mark a
Yeah.
long rest. Yep.
Woohoo. Thank the
Goodness.
Lord.
And you can already hear the sounds of Torin kind of yawning loudly from the other room as he's getting up, doing stretches and push-ups and things like that.
I'm gonna go talk to Hakan. I mean, both to get some breakfast and just to talk to Hakan.
I think Hakan would already be up before everyone.
Yeah,
Probably
yeah.
like break of dawn kind
Mhm.
of thing. He'll probably be downstairs, maybe make a little breakfast for everyone and whatnot. Clean up the last things he needs to clean up.
Yeah. Good morning.
The window has pretty much, the ice has pretty much all melted there, so the window is now open again, and a little bit of chill is coming in. But you have a fire going, keeping it warm.
And then I'll come down that morning too, and I have the glass sort of fully repaired from the night before, bringing it all to the room and kind of mending it all, and then replace the pane. Yeah.
I'm
Fits in
also down
nicely.
there looking for tea and coffee.
Coffee.
Well, all the other patrons were in the bar brawl and are pretty much out for the count today.
Yeah.
Or are bounty hunters who are avoiding the group of you. So the bar is empty other than, the group of you who have now filled it up.
Hey, Hakan, we didn't really talk that much last night, but what is happening in the towns down there?
It's hard to say. Wait, would Hakan know? Like maybe just word of mouth kind of stuff about what's going on.
Problem is that you haven't had any word of mouth in a while.
That's right.
People stopped coming up from the towns about a month ago, which is when the colder weather started happening. And then about a week or so ago, this ring of fire started appearing around the church. And you started to hear those screams coming from there every night. Screams, shrieks, howls, that sort of thing.
Okay. So it's basically I wouldn't know basically anything.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I'll tell Embers like your guess is as good as mine. I'm not exactly sure what goes on.
Is it safe to go there in the day?
It's a good question. I've never been.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't leave much. I'm pretty much married to the job,
Oh,
making sure the tavern's up and running at all times.
okay.
But I mean, you guys are welcome to go check it out. I'm sure it's much safer than at night.
Embers just like nod silently.
Okay. Did you want some breakfast? And
Oh, yes, please. I would love breakfast. Thank
He'll
you.
bring out a tray of food for everyone. Maybe
Was this
some-
conversation happening within earshot of everyone else, or like in front of everyone else, or were you pulling him aside to talk
No,
privately?
I
or
was
what?
just sitting at the bar talking to him.
I'd like to roll an insight check on Hakan then.
I got a 16.
That was a natural one, so
We're all
never
very
mind.
trusting people
Great
tonight.
I'm
roll. rolls
not
today.
paying attention to you at all. Never mind.
Well, as the group of you are starting to get some food and things like that, can each of you make a perception check?
Yes.
Natural 20.
Hey,
Oh, nice.
better than my 14.
Got a 9.
22.
16.
So everyone but Hakan, you're probably back in the kitchen and there's loud pots and pans and stuff going on back there, so you don't hear it. But everyone else who's kind of in the tap room, maybe sort of sitting in kind of the awkward silence of this morning, hears a tiny knock at the door, just the tiniest little knock, 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 knock.
Hakan, I think we have a visitor. Kind of point to the door.
Do people normally knock before they come in?
Or did they just
Knock,
like
knock, 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 knock.
Do I hear them yelling my name at all?
Yeah, you'd hear that, yeah.
Is
Yeah,
your door not open?
I would imagine that is probably still locked from the night before. But I'll come out and be kind of confused, but I'll just wait for the knock again, see if they'd leave or not.
Knock, 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 knock. Goes on a bit longer that time.
And it's not loud or aggressive
No,
or
it's
anything.
a very small knock, but
Oh no.
over and over again.
Oh
I'll
my
look to the-
gosh.
I'll look to the group and be like, silently, like, is this okay? And I'll walk
Mm.
towards the door.
It could be
Your
just a
bar.
guest. You do own an inn.
Okay, can I like see anything through the door or anything?
Well, it's your door. Is there like a window or a peephole or anything?
I would guess it's mainly glass.
Oh.
Or like partially glass, I guess. I'm not
So
sure.
yeah, I was imagining mostly a wooden door, but if there's a little
Okay.
bit of glass in there, you look out and you don't see anyone at sort of average person height. But you hear knock, 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 knock again.
Okay. I'll open the door.
Okay. You open the door and in comes a small creature. It kind of scurries in like a small rodent. All of you have Roll20 up, right? Zach, if you want to show it briefly, I can show the players what this character looks like.
Sure. Okay.
Oh,
Oh.
This tiny bipedal
Oh my
rat
gosh.
with kind of fur, a little bit along the elbows and like a beard of it around the nose. And there's definitely a bunch of this white hair coming out of the ears as well. Kind of walks in and he's got a big bag on his back that looks bigger than he could probably carry. And he kind of just slowly comes into the tavern and he looks up at the group of you and he's tuppence sized, so very tiny. He comes in and he looks around the group of you and he says,
Well, hello there.
wow.
Oh,
You're not,
hello.
Are you afraid of me because you're a very small rat-like thing and I'm a cat, a very big one?
No, I don't think that I am, should I be?
No, you should not.
Well, then, I'm not.
Good.
What's your name, by the way? I'm Bren.
Ren?
Can't. I can't.
Bren?
Bren.
Brian?
Brian?
Bren.
R-E-N?
Brain?
Brain?
Bren.
Okay. Bren.
There you go.
Ren. Where's Stimpy?
And what can we do for you, Bren?
Oh,
Are you here for breakfast?
no, I already ate on the way. Before I came through the fairy ring.
Before you came through the fairy realm?
The fairy ring.
The fairy ring. Okay. Talk a little bit more slowly so we can understand you, please, sweetheart.
Sorry about that. I forget that some of you bigger people have a little bit of trouble understanding our squeaky little voices.
It's good to see you. Where did you came from the fairy ring?
That's right. The one in Glimmertown.
Oh, I didn't know there was one there. That's amazing.
Right in the center of the town.
Any news? From
Oh.
there?
Yes, well, I mean, that's why I'm here. I was hoping that well, I was told that there was, well, I wasn't really, I suppose I'm just looking for anyone who can lend me a little bit of assistance. You see, I'm quite small,
Yeah,
Yeah.
we noticed.
and the problem I need to tackle is very large.
What is this problem, sugar?
he reaches into his backpack. I'm sorry, you guys, for making you put up with this, but I couldn't
Oh, yeah.
That's
resist.
great.
That was funny.
He reaches into his backpack and pulls out these 3 sort of rough-looking uncut gems. Let me see, what color are they? Here's my entry on Bren. They are kind of a yellowish color, and they shine with this sort of faint goldish light. And he sets them down on the ground and says,
Well, you see, these are wish stones, and remind them where I'm from. And well, for several years I've enjoyed the cider that a certain resident of Glimmertown produces, and I feel a bit indebted to her. And so when I found her wish stones, I just knew I had to do whatever I could to make her wishes come true.
Would a Khan know about this person from Glimmercairn, or the way, or this guy that Brand is talking about?
yeah, definitely. There's the mayor of Glimmercairn. I'm talking to my regular voice, right?
Yeah.
You're
Okay, good. The mayor of Glimmercairn is someone who you probably would have seen on occasion, up here in the tavern, at least before everything started happening, whose name is Tawin Dazzleberry. And she makes a berry cider that is very popular in Glimmercairn. So you probably have some on stock here.
Okay.
And you would gather that that's probably who he's talking about.
Gotcha.
It's Tawin's Dazzleberry cider.
Oh, can you summarize what the problem was? Because it was very difficult to understand in
know.
a very
I'm
high-pitched
sorry.
voice.
He basically mines these stones in, where he's from, and he called them wish stones. And these wish stones apparently belong to this Tawin Dazzleberry person. And because he consumes so much cider from her, he feels kind of indebted to her and wants to do whatever he can to make her wishes come true. But it's a big problem, and he's a very little person.
Oh, it's the making of the wishes that's come true that's the problem. You need help making these.
Exactly.
You need help with, well, what is it that she wishes?
Well, this one, she's wishing, I wish they would go away. I wish they would go away. And this one, she's wishing, all I want to do is help the town. And this one, she's wishing, anyone, please anyone, make them go away.
Do you know where we can find Dazzleberry?
Oh, well, I suspect she's over in the town.
Which
I've never
town?
met her myself, but I'm
Yes.
sure she's lovely.
There's 2 towns. Which one would she be in?
He points over in the sort of westward direction towards Glimmercairn.
Okay.
Can you remind me, is that also the same direction as the Ring of Fire?
No, the Ring of Fire was from sort of the center of the valley by the church.
Thank you.
I'll ask him what needs to go away. What do you want to go away, or what do they want to go away?
Oh, I don't really know, but there were some nasty folks in town when I was on my way here. I avoided them because I'm very small. They didn't see me, but I suspect if you went to town, you'd run into them. Oh, but I'm not asking you to do this for free, obviously.
Sure.
I can polish up these gems and give them to you when they're nice and shiny.
Great. Yeah.
Well, very kind of you, Sugar. I don't know how necessary that would be, though. I kind of look around at the rest of the group.
How much are they worth, do we think? They
Or do
curious.
they still have a wish left in them, or?
I don't think anyone but Tuppence would know this. But Tuppence, if you want to make like a Arcana or a nature check or even a history check, perhaps, whatever one of those is good for you.
Okay. Arcana. So that's a dirty 20.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you've heard about these wish stones. They appear in sort of the underground areas of the Feywild whenever someone on the material plane makes a wish. And it can be like any wish. And there are certain creatures like this tiny little mouse man before you, who are they basically make a job of mining these wish stones. And then, certain archfey will pay, high values for significant wishes or things like that. But the gems themselves can be polished up, and you would estimate that they would be worth probably about 500 gold each. And there's 3 of them here. Oh, the other thing I'll say while I'm giving Tuppence information is that this Tawin Dazzleberry person that he mentioned, you've heard of Dazzleberry cider. Sometimes they brought it into your village on occasion.
Oh, okay. So I'll tell him, ooh, Dazzleberry cider. Boy, that brings back memories. It's really good. Is it your favorite?
Isn't it?
Your
It really is.
Mm. Never met her though. You
Nope,
have?
me either. Nope.
Nope. Hmm.
And to be honest, I've never minded one of her wishes before, but here I've got 3.
Okay.
I look at Tuppence and I say, "Well, what do you want to do, Tuppy? Do you want to go and check this out?"
Yeah, I don't mind. We're not doing anything anyway till the roads are passable, right? We can go to
True.
town. Sure.
All right, we're in.
Well, thank you. I will get to work here on polishing up these gems. And let's see, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of you will go take care of this.
Everybody want to go?
I would. Where are you going, Bren? You're going to stay here, right?
Yes, I think I will. I mean, I'm very small. I'm not particularly useful.
I will go into the towns then.
Lovely.
Torin kind of speaks up and says, well, I can come too, obviously. But Hakan, if you want to go, I actually, and he kind of, rolls up his sleeves a little bit. I have a little bit of experience helping out at, a bar back in Port Horizon Shroud. Did a couple weeks there, I could probably look after this place for you if you wanted to go check it out.
God, Hakan's pretty torn.
Of course, you're welcome to join us.
No, thank you so much for the offer. I appreciate that. Gosh, Hakan would be very skeptical in leaving. He probably doesn't. He doesn't know if he can actually physically do it, but he's probably willing to try.
Bardrin will say in your head, well, I don't know. What do you think? Do you want to try? We can. It's been a while since we tried, and
we do need to get like some supplies and stuff for the bar.
We've never had as good of a motivation as we do now to attempt it, so that must count for something.
That's true. All right. You know what, Torn? I trust you. You helped me so far, so if you can hold down the fort.
Leave it to me. He gives you a big thumbs up and a winning smile.
Yep.
Nice.
Hey, don't let old age get you down. It's too hard to get back up.
Yeah.
Corin looks confused because he doesn't.
Was that a bardic
he's very old.
inspiration?
Yeah, I think Hakan will attempt to try to go with you guys.
Well, not knowing what that means at all, Embers is just gonna walk out the door.
Yeah, finishing.
Got to
up
get away from this annoying
breakfast.
mouse.
Yes,
Yep.
just
Yeah.
it's the high pitch in Embers' ears is just so much, and she's just been holding her ears this whole time. Anytime that Bren opens his mouth, it's like I'm dying.
Yeah, let's go. Well, we still have daylight.
I think Hakan will get like all these old raggedy clothes since he hasn't been outside in forever, and they're all like
Mhm.
probably torn up and old, and just layers of clothes on, hiding his face and whatnot. And then
As you come to the threshold of the door, all of you are already outside, and you can see just Hakan is all bundled up. Can you make a charisma saving throw?
+2, a 6.
6. You try to will yourself out the door, and you guys can see that Hakan is struggling to like move his foot over the threshold, and he's kind of like looking up at the the eaves of the door and like kind of skeptically looking at it. And then there is something that happens and his body jerks, and Hakan, you feel it as there's this mental shove as Bardrin pushes you out the door and your foot lands heavily in the snow, and there's just this instant feeling of like exposure and sort of this like hair-raising terror that comes with it. And Bardrin's like, oh, I don't like this, but we've committed. Come on, next foot. And you can see there's another push as like something throws him forward out fully into the snow.
You're strange.
you-
I think you'll do well with us.
You gonna be okay? Do you need a hand?
Just give me a minute. I'm getting my footing. It's been a while, and he's probably pretty shaky, but he's gonna try to push through it.
Yeah, for the first few steps, it's very much that like Bardrin has to like mentally shove you forward. But roll another charisma saving throw, and we'll see kind of how quickly you're able to.
That is a 19.
19. Okay. So within a few minutes, you're able to start moving your legs of your own volition, but the shakiness and kind of like the discomfort with being outside doesn't go away.
Yeah, for sure. He's probably like, as they're walking, like trying to get under covers or getting any sorts of shelter on the way as they walk down the streets or whatever.
Yeah, there's almost nothing to take shelter. But you can quickly make your way down to the road, which you know that locals refer to as. I have a list. I have a note here somewhere. Just the Twintowns Road. Or Twintowns Round. Sorry, couldn't read my notes. Were you going to say something, Nick?
Oh, I think Empress was just gonna like notice the discomfort, and Hakan like cringing a little bit in the light and says, Elwyn also has some difficulty being out in the light. Maybe the two of you could help each other out with that.
Yeah, for sure. I'm fine, but it's okay. Maybe I'll talk to her. He seems pretty distracted by everything that's happening, so he's probably like half listening to you.
Can I roll insight on Hakan? Figure out.
I
see
would
if
also
can...
like to do that.
It's okay. I got a natural 1. I have no idea why he's terrified.
What are these insight rolls?
I know these natural 1 insight rolls.
I think all of
against
the
him.
insight rolls have been 1s.
Yeah.
I rolled a 3.
Hey, this is a 19 this time.
Oh,
So, Will, you can when players are rolling against each other, you can pretty much decide based on their roll how much you want to give them, how little you want to give them. If you don't want to give them anything, you don't have to. Even if they rolled well, it's all up to you.
Okay. I don't think I would say a whole lot. It'd probably just be blatantly obvious that he has not been outside in God knows how long. And he's obviously very uncomfortable. But he has pretty good mental fortitude, so he's probably pushing through it pretty good. But as you, yeah, with the 19 insight, that's pretty good. He is probably talking to Bardrin, like muttering under his breath, just like for comfort or something, and maybe
Would he be kind of like clinging to the hammer a little bit more?
yeah, he'd be using it as his walking stick and putting most of his weight on it.
For clarification, when you talk to Bardrin, is it mental or is it actually like you have to actually verbalize?
I'm pretty sure it's all mental.
Okay.
Yeah, normally. But so in
because
this
you're
instance, you're
anxious.
kind of muttering under your breath.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Probably nonsensical stuff, but yeah.
Okay.
He's muttering to himself.
Bird flies overhead and kind of lets out a cry, and Bardrin in your head just goes, ah!
Yeah. The con freaks out. He's like, oh god.
What was that?
Get away.
Oh my god.
All right. Well, I will just follow the step beside Hakon then, and I will say, this place is as far north as I've ever been from my home too. I actually come from a place down in the southern wastes. Surprisingly, it kind of looks very similar in the middle of this blizzard. My home's out in the middle of the tundra. Anyway, I kind of understand how you feel being out in a new place, and there's a lot of sights and sounds, but you have us with you. You'll be all right.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And Hakan will probably perk up a little bit, feel a little bit better about himself. Yeah, I thank you. Thank you so much. That means a lot.
Of course. We all have things that we're that make us uncomfortable, but just don't try to hide it. We'll be here. We can support you.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you. And we'll probably chit chat a little bit more and kind of walk together.
Yeah.
Probably feels pretty comfortable around you.
Yeah. I'll tell you anything you want to know.
Gosh, I'll have to think about that one.
Well,
Ellen's an open book.
is there anything that the group of you want to do as you approach the town? Or are you just sort of taking the road straight into it?
Throw a snowball at
Tuppence.
Tuppence.
Hard target.
Roll a dexterity check.
Dexterity check for me.
Yeah,
Or
I guess with
ranged
your
attack.
proficiency. So ranged attack.
Oh, I missed. That's
Yeah,
Phew.
hard to hit.
yeah. That's,
That's
a 10.
right.
Yeah. Ah.
Tuppy catches it with Mage Hand and flings it right back.
Oh gosh.
Roll a charisma check then
You're gonna succeed.
I cast guidance on Tuppence.
with an extra d4.
Extra D4. Where are you? X. Okay. 16.
Is that just a armor class or what?
Yeah, yep.
Oh yeah, it hits. Yep.
So snowball right in the face.
Ah.
Take that. When will you ever learn?
I'll never be able to beat you in anything. Yep.
Yeah. Little pixies rule.
Done.
So I think that's how we pass the time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So yeah, what I was sort of curious about was, are you just walking into town, or are you trying to be like sneaky about it?
I
I
think
don't
when
know.
we get closer, I would opt
Trying
to
to
yeah.
set up a place to observe it. I don't know.
Yeah. Does Elwyn have that spell prepared?
I do. I was actually just finalizing my prepared spells, but I do have that one prepared. Are we sneaking into town? Do we have a reason to sneak into town?
Well,
I-
the Bren was
I thought we
saying,
were just visiting the person.
Yeah, I thought we were just gonna go talk to the mayor.
but Bren was saying there was like weird, potentially hostile people walking around the town, right? Wouldn't we have to get past them to get to the mayor?
Do you want me to send my scout ahead to see if it's safe?
Soul could do that too, but yeah, either way, maybe we should just get a little bit of, you know.
And we need to be aware of more bounty hunters, I guess, now.
Ugh, I hope there's no more.
Well, in this blizzard, that's probably not likely.
Yeah.
What do you want to do?
Do you want to send your companion?
Yeah, if I do that, then I can look through their eyes and see for myself.
Sure.
All right. Someone's gonna have to, you know, take care of me while I'm gone. And I just wave my hands around, summon a flurry of snowflakes, and they all kind of convalesce on my arm into the form of the snowy owl.
Mm-hmm.
Snow falls away, and there's an actual like owl there fluttering as I summon my wild companion.
Okay.
And
Get tired
Yeah.
of watching that.
oh,
It's so beautiful, Ellen.
thank you. That's very sweet. All right. And I will just kind of whisper some things in Druidic to the owl and then send it on its way into the town.
Ooh, ooh. Kind of hoots softly back to you. And then it flies off. And
Yeah.
through its eyes, the group of you see that Elwyn kind of, you lose really all sense. So she
Mhm.
kind of, loses, she seems to leave herself. And then this owl swoops out over town. And Elwyn, why don't you roll me a perception check for the owl?
It would be mine though, wouldn't it? Oh, I guess it would be because it's not my. Yeah, it's the owl's. But I'm not the owl. But the owl gets advantage.
Who am I?
Who am I? Who
Ooh.
am I? All right, advantage. Advantage. Oh, that's very, very good. That is a 21.
21. That's really good.
21.
As the owl swoops over the village, you can see that the southernmost house, the first one it passes over, let me find a description of it. It seems unique from the other houses in that, here we go, there's Glimmer Cairn. I just have like 3 locations in my notes for this that I have to cycle through. It seems unique in that it's a wooden house, but it looks like it's not very well taken care of on the outside. There's like, at this point, sort of dying vines and ivy climbing up the outside, but also the building itself seems to be buried in like scraps of wood and metal. And you can see a light on in the inside of that house. Then as you swoop more over the rest of the houses, they're more well looked after, it seems like, on the outside. Some of them have gardens and things like that that are, at this point, frozen over or snowed over. But you can see a lot more like natural landscaping and things like that around these houses. And all of them have lights on in the inside, but you don't see anyone wandering around the outside of the town until you get a little ways into the town. And that's when you start to see these little points of red kind of bobbing through the snow here and there. And it takes you a minute before you realize that they are smaller figures wearing red hats, basically like trudging through snow that is almost as tall as them. And then the owl swoops over the center of the town, which is basically a series of standing stones that have this kind of faint goldish glimmer to them. And inside the circle of standing stones is a smaller circle of multicolored mushrooms. And loitering around there's a pretty large concentration of these figures wearing these red caps. And a lot of them have this kind of like grizzled, horrible looking look to them. And with the roll as high as you've got, you can see that they have like crooked teeth and things like that. And they're all wearing these iron boots and carrying these big metal sickles. And then the owl swoops past that further over town. And you see more houses with lights in them. And there's one house that's kind of on a slight hill by the edge of the forest, but it has a view over the rest of the town. And it's slightly larger. And the owl can see a sign outside that says Mayor's Office, just kind of posted in the garden out front.
While I'm out there, do I see if there's a path around the outside of town to get to the mayor's office, or do we have to basically just go through?
You could either go through the woods that are on the west side of town. You could go back around the Twintowns Loop Road and approach the town from the other side, or you could go through the town.
Okay. On the owl's way back, can I have the owl just fly through the woods so I can get a look at what things look like in there?
Okay. We'll maintain the same perception check. It's very thick, overgrown woods. But you can see a lot of like tiny game trails and things like that. Right now, all of it is blanketed in thick, heavy snow.
No sign of more of these little red-capped creatures. In the
Maybe like
woods?
right on the edge of the woods, but
They're
Yeah.
keeping mainly to the town.
yeah, they seem to be
Okay.
hanging out. The largest concentration of them is in that center ring of standing
Right.
stones. And I'll say, since you had such a high roll, you can see that the ones that are in the standing stones seem to be wrestling with each other. Like they're having organized wrestling matches in there.
Okay. Okay. Then yeah, when I've seen everything that I need to see, I'll pull my consciousness back to myself and look around and say, well, looks like the residents are all on house arrest. There's some little creatures with little red hats walking around. They look kind of nasty. And a bunch of them are hanging out by this circle of stones toward the middle of town. Mayor's house is in the back on a hill, so I reckon we should go through the woods. Looks like the safest route that'll give us the most cover.
You say a bunch. How many do you mean
How many do I mean?
of these like little red?
Throughout the town, you saw maybe like 10 or 12 total.
Well, throughout the
Um,
town, I saw maybe like 10 or 12 total, but
Around the ring, maybe about 6 of them. And
there
I'll
were
add
about
one more.
6 of them around the room. And I'll add one more thing.
I'll add one more detail about the ones wrestling in the center of the ring. The whole wrestling event that the owl witnessed seemed to be being watched over by one particularly big and burly looking red-capped creature, except this creature didn't have a red cap. It had a big red bow on its head.
Nice.
And she seemed to be standing there overlooking the entire
Oh,
thing.
I love it. I love
Yep.
it.
That's great.
Yeah, so there were like maybe
lot.
less than maybe around 20 of them total. One big one.
All right.
But
I
they're
think,
in
yeah.
different spots, right?
Well, yeah,
Mhm.
most of them are just wandering around, but there
Yeah.
was, the biggest ones look like they were holding up at the center of town. So if we want to go straight to the mayor, we can go around the back, figure out a plan from there, get more information, unless you want to just go in and clear these things out.
No,
Tuppence is shaking.
What's wrong, Tuppence?
Aren't those the creatures that Thistle was talking about?
the ones that destroyed Thistle's town.
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty bad that they're here.
Is this new to Hakan? Like, has he ever heard about these creatures or seen any of these creatures
You
before?
could roll an Arcana check. Probably never seen them, but you may have heard
Right.
of them.
And this is new for Glimmercairn, right? Like they've never been heard
Yeah,
about.
they were not here before,
Okay,
as far as you know. I mean, you've never been into town.
right. I got an 18.
So with an 18, you would have heard stories from, residents of Glimmercairn, who talk about, various fey creatures that they have contact with through the fairy ring in the center of their town. And really it comes up more in like certain, stormy nights when people are kind of clustered in the tavern and they're all telling scary stories for fun. Some of them will talk about like these monstrous creatures known as red caps that rise from pools of blood and commit murderous acts. And they tell it in kind of like a horror story type of way. And those fit the description at the very least.
Gotcha.
It's less scary when Brent tells it.
Yeah.
There were lights on in most, if not all, of the homes, so I reckon probably most of the population's all right. Optimistically.
You think the mayor would be in her office?
Did it look like a
Still-
house slash office?
Yeah, it looked like mostly a house with like several gardens out front and
Mhm.
around the sides, and then
Yeah, I reckon
maybe a
she
little
lives there.
greenhouse.
Cider
Has to have
press.
gardens and a greenhouse. Someone lives there. Someone's taking care of it.
Are you gonna be okay, Tuppence? If we sneak by?
Embers, do you mind?
Of course.
Thank you. Fly over, start braiding her hair.
For nervousness.
Nervous braiding.
Okay.
All right, then if you're going through the woods and you're going to be sneaky, can I have each of you make a stealth check at advantage because you're going through the woods?
Oh,
We're getting.
Should I even? Yeah, I will. I can cast Pass Without Trace too, and it lasts for up to an hour. So I'm going to do that. I'll
Yes,
say,
please.
everyone, make sure you stay close to me. I'm gonna do a thing. And I kind of take advantage of the blizzard that's happening, and I do like some Elsa bullshit. Just like waving my arms around, pulling the pulling the storm around us.
This is terrifying
No.
to Hakan.
And I
Terrifying
just
to
cast
me.
Pass Without a Trace.
Oh God! What have we asked you to do? I'm sorry, Elsa.
So Will, for your benefit, that's extra +10 to whatever you
Right.
roll on your stealth check.
Yeah,
And I
so
have
it's just gonna help
disadvantage on
us.
stealth.
We have
so-
advantage
it's-
too,
So
so
we have
So
advantage.
it
roll.
cancels out.
Yeah.
So it's just a straight roll for you.
Ooh. I got a 28.
shoot.
Yeah.
How did Embers do?
Natural
32.
20.
Yeah,
Natural.
32.
21.
Also,
And
it's
Vert?
28.
Nice.
Okay.
I also
Um,
got a 32.
Dang. Yeah, the group of you kind of cut off into the woods and begin making your way through there. You pass by that first house that is literally piled in junk, and make your way kind of along the back of the town. At one point, as you get kind of like halfway there, all of you can see this ring of standing stones with these red caps in the middle of it, kind of playing this game of wrestling, with this like more burly one with a big red bow kind of overseeing everything. And then make your way past that and up all the way to the north end of town, where you find yourselves sort of at the back door to the house that has the sign out front that says Mayor's Office. And that's where we'll pick up next week.
Yay, we made it.
All right.
Woohoo.
So thank you all for playing. Sorry again about the mouse voice. Um,
It was amazing. Do not apologize.
I apologize anyways. Thank you to any of you who tuned in to watch and put up with the mouse voice, and we'll be back with more of this Monday, 7 p.m. Pacific time. Hope to see you then. Have a good night.
Hi.
Bye.
Bye.
Good night.